Learn to take charge of your life and master your inner world with the Journey Within podcast clips with me, Shobha Rana. Don't miss to press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Hi, Nayab. How are you?
Hi, Shobha. First of all, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I'm doing well. I'm fine.
You look extremely lovely. You always do.
Thank
So,
you.
what is it that you're doing, eating these days? Because I've met you about a year and a half back or something.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you were way more different than what you appear to be
Yes.
now. So,
Okay, finally, I've started taking care of my health. I'm not eating junk food anymore. It's no more trendy for me. I've been eating ragi rotis. I've been having my protein. I've been working out as well. But today, clearly not one of the best days. Not talking about my looks, but I don't know if it was one of the best days that I'm living. But yeah, I'm getting through it.
and
today.
why do you say that?
You were talking about this internal and the external world that we live in. External world sometimes gets way more harsh that you want it to be, and your internal world is already a chaos. Like वो एक धागा होता है ना जैसे से हमेशा उलझा रहता है, and what you're doing is आप उसको रोज sort कर रहे हो, and you know वो फिर उलझ जाएगा. But sometimes when that is a chaos and when outside world is a harsh chaos, it gets to you sometimes. I believe the hate gets to you sometimes.
The hate gets to you, rightly so. But is there any particular hate that has come in your way recently that has like really jolted you and that has impacted you as a person?
I think hate has always impacted me as a person, always. But yes, since I've been, I'm not saying that I'm a very like huge personality, but whatever it is, whatever the people that there are on social media, I am extremely thankful for, because this was not even a dream that I'm living. This was this was not even a dream, but this is so beautiful, so beautiful things that are happening. They were never part of my plan, but I guess I was not ready for the hate that comes with it, the negativity that comes with it, the people that don't like what you do, that the people that judge you on the basis of one conversations or something that you said somewhere or something you're not even aware of because they are anonymous. So
Correct.
also they make weird accounts by the names of user and then they come to you, and it's very easy for somebody to come and spread that, but you don't know what that person is. The person could be suicidal yesterday night and must have decided to, कि कल मैं अच्छे से करूँ, I'll be a better person tomorrow, and to wake up with a comment or a message that is very spiteful. I don't know. It's one of the best days in those terms, but again, as I said, maybe we'll get through it.
We all will, and we all do. This hate, of course, it does impact you on some level. You develop a thick skin over the years and over the months, and all of that journey happens, but then it gets to you. And however thick skinned you get over time, and at least I have not reached that point where it doesn't impact me absolutely. I can say 100% that theek hai. It's there, but I can do without it. It's somewhere shifts something within you, and you feel it deep within. So you spoke about this was not even a dream for you, the life that you're living right now, and I can relate to it because I don't think a lot of people start out as wanting to become poets or authors or storytellers. Now, of course, the world has changed, but while you were growing up, you're much younger than me, of course, but while we were growing up, this was not like a profession that we had thought of for ourselves. So tell me something about your journey. When did you really decide to become a poet?
Okay, so I've been a very passionate person. तो सबसे पहले तो मैं एक singer बनना चाहती थी. It kept on with me till 7th grade, and I wanted to be like a rock star performer because I used to see all these TV shows जो आते थे, सारेगामापा, even DID. I used to dance a lot, but I was never that great of a singer that every time I would sing, सब मेरे को बोलते थे प्लीज चुप कर जा.
Oh God, reality hits you, and how?
और this very funny incident. I'll share that one with you. So one time I was in school और ना सिंगिंग कंपटीशन हो रहा था. तो पहले तो मैं कभी ऑडिशन करने ही नहीं जाती थी. वो हाउसेस होते हैं ना, ब्लू हाउस, रेड हाउस.
Correct.
तो एक बार ना एक बच्चा कम पड़ रहा था, तो मैंने बोला अभी अपना probability high है मिलने की, चलते हैं. So I remember I went and the teacher was so nice. She let me in. She gave me a song which was जरा जरा महकता है ना, and तो CD के जमाने वाले दिन की बात कर
But
रही
you'll
हूँ.
have to sing that, okay?
No, I can't. If you want people to get to the end of this podcast, please don't ask me to sing. I'll sing another one.
Both of us will sing.
Done deal.
I am a bathroom singer with the confidence of a stage performer, and that's deadly. That's like as far as you can be from reality.
That's a bomb
combination, truly.
So the teacher saw that इसकी आवाज ना हस्की है, तो इसको जरा दे देते हैं. तो मैं घर गई और मैं एंड माय फादर वाज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट व्हाइल वी वर ग्रोइंग अप, तो मैं सीडी के अंदर डलवा के ले आई और मैं जा रही हूँ सीडी डीवीडी प्लेयर पे बजा के गा रही हूँ जरा जरा साथ में. आई वाज इन 7th ग्रेड और 8th ग्रेड प्रॉब्ली, आई डोंट रिमेंबर. ठीक है, और मेरे पापा आते हैं शाम को वापस अपने ऑफिस से एंड वो देख रहे हैं क्या कर रही है, तो एंड ही इज that very angry face and I was so scared of my father and मैं कहा पापा मैंने ना ये सिंगिंग कॉम्पिटिशन में पार्टिसिपेट किया और मैम ने मुझे सॉन्ग दिया एंड माय फादर सेड दैट ये कोई गाने वाला, ये कोई सॉन्ग है जो आप स्टेज पे गाओगे एंड माय फादर सेड इधर आ. सो माय फादर इज वेरी टेक फ्रेंडली, तो वो क्या करते हैं अपने कंप्यूटर पे जाते हैं, एक सीडी लेते हैं, उसमें एक सॉन्ग डाल के मुझे दे देते हैं और बोलते हैं ये प्रैक्टिस कर एंड दैट सॉन्ग वाज एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल.
Your dad saved you. That's an easy song to sing.
Yeah,
in
but from
comparison.
zara zara he put me to ek din bik jayega maati ke mol and then next day. Okay, and there's a very funny human emotion that is attached with this incident that I realized. Okay, I went on stage and I performed and of course I did not win. There's such beautiful singers, बहुत सारे लोग थे जो professionally सीख रहे थे. तो मेरी एक क्लासमेट थी who started crying because she sang well and she used to sing to us in free periods and जब क्लास में एक मोमेंट होता है ना कि फ्री पीरियड है तो टीचर बुलाती है and she's beautiful singer, she still sings so beautifully.
Correct.
तो she was standing मेरे पीछे असेंबली लाइन में और असेंबली से पहले ये सब हुआ था and she started crying. And I was not crying because I was not even expecting to win. ठीक है? And the moment she started crying, and I said, अगर मैं नहीं रोई, तो सबको लगेगा I wasn't serious about this. And I started crying. तो
You faked it.
I started crying. I don't know if I faked it or not, but I realized that I was okay with failing because I was there for the passion of singing and the fact that I wanted to sing, and I was okay. But this is how the world, the external and the internal, that point, this is how the world changes you. तुमको लगता है this is how we are expected to behave कि अगर हार गए हो तो रोना पड़ेगा ना, शर्म नहीं आ रही तुमको, तुम हार गए और तुम रो नहीं रहे हो. I started crying and there were few nice people. मेरी अच्छी दोस्त थी, सहेलियां थी जो बोले अरे चुप कर जा, कोई बात नहीं. पक्का मन में सोच रही होंगी कि सोच भी कैसे रही है कि ये जीतेगी. They must be going, but they were nice on the outside. And that's when I decided that no more singing for a career.
How inspiring is that at your
Yeah.
at that young an age,
Yeah.
right? So when a young Nayab was writing, filling pages in her diary, what was she writing like everyday basis? Was it like more like journaling your day, or was it always something about poetry and putting it into a poetic form and trying to carve out an art or a talent out of it or something like that?
I was journalizing very early, like I think since 11th grade to till I came to college and till I came to an escape where I did not want to escape. उतनी बार नहीं चाहिए था because I had my room. I was busy making friends and living a life. It was easier, but मुझे याद है मैं हर रोज अपनी and I was fairly lonely. Even I had friends. I don't know if there is somebody out there who could relate with the fact, but generally I had beautiful friends, but it was very hard to share for me. I don't know because I felt like कि nobody is supposed to know because मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कि यार whatever is happening at my home, it's also not my problem, or even if it is my mother's problem, it's their personal story. I don't have the right to share it with another friend of mine. But I did not know what to do with it.
But you had that much maturity at that
Exactly,
age.
yeah, and it was hard.
Was
to
it
deal with.
maturity or was it shame that
I think it was a mix of both because. And now, as I grew up and as I talk to more females, as I do poetry, as I perform, I've been very, very open about it with people. And I see it's every other household.
It's every other household.
Why do we hide it?
I don't know. I mean, we grow up with so much shame. I
Yeah.
remember my times when I was growing up, I would tell so many lies to my friends about my
Yeah.
home because it was, I mean, it's not a broken home yet,
Yeah.
but my father has always been an alcoholic. And,
Okay.
when you have a father like that, and he's a great human being,
Yeah.
when you know your mom and dad, these two are great individuals, but
Yeah.
they are not the ideal people.
Yes.
Those should
Together.
be together, or
Yeah.
those should be parents, or that's how you don't look up to a father like that. When you hear stories, when you see parents dropping their
Yeah.
kids at school and
Yeah.
them being enthused about a PTM, or them being enthused about, "Arey, tu ye kar le, tu wo kar le." And here you are coming to a home where your father is just always absent
Yeah.
from that world because he's so much into his own other world and stuff like that.
Mm.
There's so much shame attached to it
Yeah.
that you don't share it because you're mature कि घर की बातें घर में रखो. As a child, you don't know what is washing your
Yeah,
dirty laundry in
yeah.
public. You don't know all of that. Just shame that I will not be accepted by my friends.
True.
उनको लगेगा अरे ये तो
Yeah.
ऐसी है, ये तो वैसी है.
और
इसका तो
शायद
घर ऐसा
इसीलिए
है.
ऐसी है.
इसीलिए ऐसी है.
There's also
छोड़ दो
this कि
इसको.
शायद इसीलिए ऐसी है.
एक acceptance का that I would not belong anywhere.
Yeah.
So you start telling those lies, harmless, छोटे lies
छोटे झूठ.
that your father got you this, wherein that's not the
Yeah.
true story, or your father wants this out of you, wherein that's not the true story. So when you come from a house like that where you don't have an ideal scenario, I think that somewhere
Yeah, I think
changes
I
you.
was that joker personality who would make jokes on herself and laugh and who wouldn't mind कि अच्छा किसी का मजाक उड़ रहा है मेरा उड़ा लो यार सबको पता था कि she is a very tomboyish person and I was because I had to let that anger out somewhere. I was super tomboyish and I remember beating up boys from my class and because I had that anger for the whole clan, whole men community. Because I think my father never shared with us that he is also going through so much. So we were always on. Now growing up, I am in the center of the love that I love my father and I love my mother and I love them both. I think growing up, I loved my mother and I was against my father. And there are diaries I hope nobody reads that are full of hate for my father because he was as inexpressive as a man could be, and that's what they've taught men, right?
Which is
Growing,
just so unfair,
I've
how the
never seen
world
my father
accepts or
crying.
sees
Yeah,
men as,
yeah,
to my own father. Very recently I had this conversation with him and I was just bursting into tears, and
yeah,
I told him that, today at this age, at 33, I realized that you could be going through a lot,
yeah,
like, coming from a very small village, having switching between jobs
yeah,
and having a vice, and then three kids who are nearly of the same age, providing for them, not having any money.
yeah.
And now I relate to that
Yes,
pressure as an adult, because you are going through in your life
yeah,
with so much pressure, and at the same time you want to excel in life and all of that, and you see your friends, people your age, even if you
yeah,
I don't drink, I don't smoke, but I see people, and I see
yeah,
it's real.
yeah,
It's not like that it's a problem only your
yeah,
household has. It's
yeah.
real, it's
It's
everywhere, these
everywhere.
things. Then it's like, now I have the maturity to understand
Yeah.
whatever you did, you
Where you
did.
coming
Where
from?
you coming from, and the kind of history you have with your parents, and
Yeah,
whatever you, and your community. I'm a Pahadi, so
yeah.
it's a very community thing
Community
also, that
thing.
you drink,
Yes.
that Pahadis drink a lot and all of that. I'm
Yeah.
not stereotyping anyone,
Yeah.
but it happens,
It happens in
the
the
kind of way
areas
you.
you live.
Correct. So you've coming from that age. You
Yeah.
started drinking at probably 16,
Yeah.
17, and all of that. So I relate to it now, and I understand, and I get that whole him becoming silent over the years and not
Yeah.
holding any conversations. So I don't remember when I would have spoken to my father last, in however number of years I can
Yeah.
think of. I don't remember having a conversation
Same.
about future, about
Yeah.
present, about a mess or whatever. I was going through a lot in my life. Never, fi- and all that ambitious part. I think that also comes from a place where you don't have a cushion to fall back on. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about only a financial cushion. I'm talking about
Yeah.
an emotional cushion also, where
Yeah.
you can mess it up and come back home and say, "Yaar, मैंने ये कर दिया अभी, look out for me,"
Yeah.
or you know that somebody will back you up. You
True.
always had that thing that there's nothing. If you fall down, you fall flat to ground, and then you have to again make your way up all by yourself. So I totally get that journey coming
Yes.
from a house where there is friction, and
Such amazing people put together in such unfortunate circumstances where even I think in those times they were even not allowed to get together. There's so much of responsibility that you have for your elders.
so now you started writing about emotions, like the real vulnerable human emotions. So tell me something, how much of it is really real and how much of fiction that you have to put into it? Because now, see, when you write in a world of today that is fast paced,
Yeah.
and you have brand collaborations, you have multiple things coming your way, right? So you have deadlines, of course,
Yeah.
and you have to just write, like, let's say you're writing something for the Valentine's Day for a particular brand, and you're not feeling that love in your life
Yeah.
at that point, or whatever, you're going through a heartbreak or whatever else it could be, or some other situation in your life. How do you write a poetry about love when you're not feeling it? Is it easy for a writer to fake it? And how do you take it? Like, I want to know your take.
I won't say that a writer should fake it, or fake is I believe not the correct word, because every emotion that so let's go let's go back to physics, my one true mathematics and physics, my true loves. And see, how do you feel that when there is a charge and it transfers, right? I think a writer is a writer because they feel things. So even if you're going through something, I might not be able to show it that I'm feeling it, but that is getting transferred to me, just like voltage, just like current, just like those things, those emotions. And I might not have felt that in my personal life, but if I felt something, then only I'll be able to write. That's for me personally. There might be people who write emotions that they have not felt. I find it hard for myself because I feel so many things at once. My brain is a mess. It's a mess. If somebody opens it today, I think they'll feel how this person is alive. जैसे वो तारे नहीं होती, करंट लग रहे होते, थर 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 पटाखे
हर
बज रहे
समय
होते
वो
हैं.
440 वोल्ट
Yeah.
आपस में टकरा रहा है, और
It's multiple
whatever that is.
connections and everything is going at the same time, and there is a lot of things, and I think we live with a brain like that, at least I do. And with a brain like that, you feel multiple emotions at the same time, and you're able to write about it. And coming to fiction, let's say there is a brand collaboration, or let's say there is something like that, you have to find tricks and techniques. So what I do is I take multiple perspectives. Let's say I've not been in love, I've not felt it. I will talk to somebody who's been in it and I'll try to feel it. So it might not be my emotion, but I will try to make sure that somebody has felt that. It's not fake. For example, if somebody asks me to write about a divorce and I've not gone through it, it's not a personal experience, but I will come to the feeling of not having a companion or feeling lonely. And those things I've felt, and I'll play on that part. And how beautiful it would be to have somebody who shares your life in the right way. And there's so many tricks that you can do. You can write questions like the 5 W's: why, when, where.
Where,
And then
what?
you can answer those questions. And after you've written 2-3 pages of those answers, I think you will have material to write a piece, which is fiction, but you have nicer answers. I call my mother a lot of times,
Yeah.
and it's very random also. Not that I'm going to get content from there, but just like a brainstorming session. कि मम्मी अब क्या सोचते हो इसके बारे में? And my mother will like give you full philosophical views, and I think you find your ways through that with experiences of other people. So not fake, but yes, you create stories from real experiences.
So you have learned the tricks of the trade along the way, and how to spin a story around it that works for a brand, that gives them what they want, and that
I hope
also
so.
expresses the real organic
Yeah.
human emotion that is
Yeah.
supposed to be put in
True.
that situation. So now you said that your mind is like this mess, there's so
Yeah.
many connections and wires going on here and there. So when you have a mind like that, and when you're processing so much all the time, and when you are a passionate person also, क्या होता है ना, जब आप इतने passionate होते हो, हर चीज को आप ज्यादा फील करते हो. अगर वो 0 से 10 तक फील करनी हो तो हर चीज आपको 20 लगती है.
Yeah, true.
When you live with a philosophy like that, and when you are that person, then you go through a lot of emotionally difficult times also, and you go deep down. So has it happened with you that you've taken a dive in and you've found yourself in a place which is dark,
I've
which
been.
is scary, which is you don't see a way out of, and it just puts you at your lowest?
I've been depressed, and not because I think brain has been a mess since always, because honestly nobody could tell from my face that I had things going back at home. I had learned to fake.
That's the
And I
worst,
think
right?
that's our coping mechanism. I was the most happiest person at school, and I read it somewhere. I was at a cafe in Delhi. It's a song also. I think it's called Paradise. But it's like if you don't know how to smile, just keep smiling, and one day you'll stop faking it, right? So I think, but there comes a day when when all these dreams that are nightmares, and they come to you in real life, and you don't know, मतलब एक दिन आएगा जब वो सारी चीजें फटेंगी, आपका घड़ा भरेगा, and you won't know what to do with it. And I was depressed because of some other reason. There was some things that were happening in college, and I was being shamed for so and so reasons, very differently personal. But I was abandoned by the group of people that I loved. And could be my mistake. I feel that it's always a both side. I did not feel that I made that huge of a mistake, or I still don't feel that way, but I apologize. And all those things happened that you do to keep your friends, and they were family to me. And I was, again, that loneliness that I thought that I had left back home. I thought that it will never come back to me because I've left that place. I'm in a new place. I'm learning things. I'm doing this, that, and I'll be a successful person. And then there is your worst nightmare, loneliness, coming, knocking your door again. I could not handle it the second time. And that's when I learned that what is depression. And even still talking about it, I tear up. There are days that it comes back to me. And I could not afford therapy then. And I could not afford telling my parents because I was far from them. 2 years, I was watching Friends non-stop. I was, it's very real when people say कि यार बिल्कुल आप रोज उठ के जाते हो, आप हंसते हो, but you come back to tears and you don't have a reason for it. क्योंकि मुझे लगता था यार साल भर हो गया, I've find new things to do, found new things to do, and I have also made new friends. And it still gets to me. Still there are days that when I'm sitting and crying and it comes back to me, when so our coping mechanism क्या होता है ना, busy हो जाओ. मैं बिजी हो जाती हूँ, एक नौकरी से काम नहीं बन रहा, दूसरी पकड़ लेती हूँ. Like there are times I've done 2 jobs at the same time, 3 things at the same time, and I've been extremely busy and it's been amazing. कि मुझे ऐसा लगता था that what a use of time, Nayab. I was happy, not that even if I wasn't getting somewhere, I was happy. Now, when I'm living for myself, surviving on my own without a job, without a routine, I realize that I have to fight those things and there is no other solution. There is no way to get out of it. And you can't justify कि यार आप क्यों डिप्रेस्ड हो, बुखार चढ़ता है तो पूछते हो क्यों चढ़ता है, डॉक्टर बोल देता है आपने ठंडा पानी पी लिया चढ़ गया. तो ये भी वैसे है कि ठीक है आपको लोगों ने अबैंडन कर दिया, यू कांट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट इट, यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट इट दैट यू हैव बीन अबैंडन्ड, यू हैव टू मूव फॉरवर्ड, यू हैव टू लर्न टू डील विद इट, यू हैव टू लर्न टू डील विद दैट थिंग्स आर लाइक दिस, you know. Your parents don't get along and you have to learn to find your happiness within, you have to find your calm, and it's so hard. I have not found it yet. Maybe I will find it.
What is that piece of poetry that you've written that is closest to your heart, जो आपने कोई इमोशन बहुत जबरदस्त तरीके से फील किया और अभी ताजा ताजा फील ही कर रहे हो and you've put it down in words?
There's only one poetry that has come out
Yeah.
like this. It's called Justuju. So I was fighting.
Just say a few lines also.
Yeah, Justuju is basically longing for someone, है ना? और I was fighting with somebody very close to me. And it was COVID and it was a horrible, horrible time. And we used to be together. We work in the same office. We're together now. And the fact that I was feeling was this कि तू एक दिन जब लौट कर मुझे ढूंढता आएगा, मैं तुझको अगर ना मिली तो फिर किधर जाएगा, सबसे पहला दरवाजा किसका खटखटाएगा, क्या तू मुझे तलाशने उसी घर आएगा जहां तूने और मैंने मिलकर हमको खो दिया था, जब मैं से तंग आकर, जो आपकी ऑल्टर ईगो होती है, जो आपकी सो कॉल्ड मैं होती है, जब मैं से तंग आकर गंभीर रो दिया था, घर आएगा तो कदम जरा संभल कर रखना, इस घर में मेरे हिस्से जगह जगह पर रहते हैं, जब से तू गया है मेरे पांव दरवाजे पर ही बैठे हैं, दिल बिस्तर पर करवटें बदलता रहता है, बंद ना हो आंखों से दफा दफा कहता है कि वो आएगा लौटकर एक दिन जरूर, कानों में हल्के से फुसफुसा देता है, मासूम हाथ बातों में आ जाया करते हैं, फिर हर रात खुद ही को बाहों में भरते हैं, तो एक दिन जब लौटकर मुझे ढूंढता आएगा, मुझे यूं बिखरा देख क्या खुद बिखर जाएगा, या उठा लेगा मुझको और जर्रा जर्रा जोड़ देगा, संभाल लेगा मुझको मेरी चुप्पी तोड़ देगा, वक्त भर से जो मेरे साथ रहा है, क्या तेरा ये इंतजार मुझे छोड़ पाएगा, तू एक दिन जब लौटकर मुझे ढूंढता आएगा, मैं तुझको अगर ना मिली तो फिर किधर जाएगा.
How
That's
beautiful that is. Oh my God, that's just getting goosebumps here. Oh my God.
But I think the hardest feeling is to long for somebody when you want. वही बात है ना कि कोई चीज जब आपको तभी चाहिए ना, कुछ चीजें आपको उसी वक्त मिलनी
चाहिए होती हैं
और वो मिलनी चाहिए. मतलब शायद कभी कभी इंतजार आपको कुछ नहीं सिखा रहा है, मतलब शायद कभी कभी वो इट्स मेकिंग यू थिक स्किन, इट्स टेकिंग अवे योर इनोसेंस, योर एम्पैथी फ्रॉम यू, बिकॉज if you're missing somebody, if you're longing for somebody, before every time I perform this piece I say कि अगर कोई आपसे नाराज है ना उसको तभी मना लो प्लीज. It's the worst way to fight with somebody and there is somebody. कपल्स में अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि आप किसी छोटी सी बात पे नाराज होते हो, है ना, और आप तैयार हो कि कोई आपको बस ऐसे कर देगा, आपको ऐसे टैप कर देगा ऑन योर शोल्डर कि somebody will hug you and you will be fine, कि चल ठीक है जाने दे. बट जब कोई वो नहीं करता ना, वो जुस्तजू और बढ़ जाती है और असली जंगी लड़ाई तभी शुरू होती है कि तीन दिन. एंड देयर आर पीपल हु कीप रिकॉर्ड्स, यू नो, कि एक बार हमने 10 दिन बात नहीं की थी, एक बार 1 महीना हमने बात नहीं की थी. हाउ, what is that 1 महीना teaching you? Excuse me, like in a relationship, I don't think Justuju is a very good thing. ठीक है, आप किसी को थोड़े टाइम मिस करो, like you know there is a quote that I read that you know even missing you is a privilege to have. Beautiful, but when you're missing somebody in the right kind of space, not when somebody has hurt you, you should address it, you should apologize. Even if you are that person, you should go that I'm sorry right away. वो है ना कि किसी को आग लग गई, उसने फटाफट हटा लिया, ठंडा आटा लगा लिया, टूथपेस्ट लगा लिया एंड इट विल बी फाइन. थोड़ी थोड़ी हीट लगे जा रही है, उस पे लगे जा रही है, इट विल बिकम अ स्कार एंड यू विल एवरी टाइम यू टच इट यू विल नो दैट देयर इज अ स्कार. एंड आई डोंट थिंक दे आर अ वेरी गुड थिंग इन अ रिलेशनशिप. सो I was longing for somebody so bad, and I felt that this is the worst emotion. Either you're not with somebody, you fought and you know this person was toxic and you know you've done, तुमको अंदर अंदर कहीं ना कहीं पता होता है कि तुमने अच्छे के लिए किया है, बट ये जो जुस्तजू है ना, तुमको पता है कि ये इंसान अच्छा भी है और तुम ऑल्टर ईगोज अपनी मैं लेके बैठे हो, मत बैठो यार, मना लो, फट से मना लो, मतलब
How quick are you to say sorry?
Oh, I am the first person, like
Yeah.
like I know.
मतलब एक होता है सॉरी बोल देना कि चलो मिट्टी पाओ, और एक होता है genuinely you realize, you reflect and you see अच्छा, and you then change your behavior.
No,
Do you go that deep that you
I-
change your behavior, you change your language, body language, verbal language, expression of whatever that was that led to that fire?
Mostly with everybody that I have a relation, be it my sister, be it my mother, be it my partner, or anybody that at a point of time that I have a relationship with, there are points in the most happy times I ask them that if you have anything that happened and we are happy right now, please share and I'll try. At least I try. और मैं बड़ी मुंहफट भी हूँ, कोई चीज़ मुझे लगता है मैं नहीं बदल सकती तो मैं बोल देती हूँ यार, I have no intent to hurt you but I can't change this, so let me be, please. Some things you can't change na. So I have this habit of slapping very bad. Like I do like ऐसे चलते फिरते मैं, and some like them my friends who get hurt. I've apologized, but I've also not corrected it so many times. But now every time I do it, I'm like, sorry, this is out of habit. I'm so sorry. So I'm the first person. Recently, there was a brand collaboration. So I was supposed to message to my manager that कि यार वो बंदी से क्लोज कर ले यार, वो कितने कह रही थी उतने में ही कर ले. And I am so absent minded these days. मैंने उस बंदी को ही मैसेज कर दिया.
Worst mistake to make.
सुबह से शाम हो गई और मैं कह रही हूँ यार, उसने मुझे बताया नहीं कि क्या बात हुई, and I need money and I hope this closure is a nice gig. I see that, oh shit.
उसी को भेज दिया.
So I was
Been
also
there, done
very
that.
very weird language also. उसको बोलना जितना भी कह रही है close. I realized that that's not a nice language. I called her right away. I messaged her, oh shit, this is so embarrassing. I called her and I said, I'm so sorry. This is the language that I use with
My
that
friend.
person
Yeah.
who's there, and I'm sorry. It might have come very wrong to you, and I laughed about it. I apologize, and because it wouldn't, closure is very important for me personally. Like I should close things, even with friends that have not closed nicely. I'm meeting one of them tomorrow. It's been years. I have dreams, same dreams, and it's so horrible. That's why I need therapy. There are dreams that we talked, we hugged, and everything. I wake up with the best mood, and then I realize it was a dream, and I'm back.
But do you want it to be that way for you?
Of course, I want closure. I
जो एक नायाब मिठा एक लड़की है जो who has her dreams, who has a sense of self expression, जिसको कुछ चीजें पसंद है, कुछ नहीं है, who's just this kid, who just wants to love and feel love.
Yeah.
Have you been able to tap into that space in your inner world?
To an extent, as in I wouldn't say yes, I found the I'm very sorted. No, the answer completely is no. But I found answers to many of the questions that I had in childhood, and honestly, very honestly, answers to most of them are love. Most of them, and it is very weird because I never thought love would be my answer to anything. I was like, मैं ये कर लूँगी, वो कर लूँगी. I would achieve. I'd be this successful businessman. I'd be entrepreneur or whatsoever. I thought I'll win the world and all of that. Honestly, I don't want to now. I feel I'm not any less ambitious, but a girl who wanted to change the world now does not want to do that, and I will tell you how this is a sense of achievement. मैं जब इसमें था कि मैं जब छोटा था तो मैं दुनिया बदलना चाहता था, फिर मैं बड़ा हुआ और मैंने खुद को बदल लिया, तो मेरी दुनिया अपने आप बदल गई. So now, because in this world आप किसी को कितना भी बोलो कोई नहीं बदलेगा. And like a child, like we as human beings, बच्चा कैसे बोलना सीखता है या कैसे चलना सीखता है, आप उसका हाथ पकड़ते हो, आप उसको बताते हो, वो बोलना कैसे, वो सुनता है. बट बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो वो आपके एक्सप्रेशन से सीखता है. What is, we say that it's all genetics, but no, it's a lot of how you are expressing yourself. That if a child cries and if you hug him or if you buy him a toffee, they know that they can cry and get a toffee, right? A children learns a lot. A child learns a lot. So I think whatever I have to give, I will give it through expression. If I have to give somebody, if I have to tell people कि अगर कोई तुम्हारे, if I have to do गांधीगिरी कि अगर तुम्हारे कोई एक गाल पे चाटा मारे दूसरा गाल आगे कर दो, तो maybe someday I will do दूसरा गाल आगे. Then आई टेल कि मैंने दूसरा गाल आगे किया और मुझे बिल्कुल बुरा नहीं लगा। तो अगर कोई मेरे से रेजोनेट करेगा, वो अपने आप दूसरा गाल आगे कर देगा या वहाँ से चला जाएगा या व्हाटएवर, इन व्हाटएवर वे आई बिहेव। एंड so many times there's so much hate and that I'm unable to deal with, but there is so much hate that I'm able to deal with love. I that's why at the end of तुम खूबसूरत हो कि अगर कोई तुमसे कहे और अगर जब भी कोई तुमको बताना चाहे ऐसा कुछ भी that you're not beautiful, उसके करीब जाना और उसको कहना कि तुम खूबसूरत हो. That's where, and this is 3 years ago and I'm trying to
I
stick
think I
to it.
love that piece by you. Tum Khoobsurat Ho is
Yes.
one of your most watched
Yes,
poetry
yes,
also.
yes.
It's a beautiful, beautiful piece, and I would want you to say a few lines for the audience.
Oh, definitely. That's where I come from in तुम खूबसूरत हो कि कोई तुमको कितना भी बोले, मैं ये नहीं, I'm not saying कि काजल मत लगाओ या I have put on makeup and I've started recently starting loving to put on things and experiment as a form of art. But remember before putting that on that you're beautiful. That's it. That's what it is. कि तुम खूबसूरत हो, ये बात खुद से 100 दफा कहो, चलते वक्त, रुकते वक्त, उठते वक्त, बैठते वक्त, सोते वक्त, जागते वक्त, हर वक्त, खुद को आईने में देखते वक्त, मुस्कुराते वक्त, चिल्लाते वक्त, दूसरों की आंखों में अपनी झलक देखते वक्त, बिना ये सोचे कि वो तुम्हारे बारे में क्या सोच रहा है, खुद से बेखौफ कहो कि तुम खूबसूरत हो। जली आंखों में काजल डालने से पहले, सूखे चेहरे पर सफेद रंग लगाने से पहले, कानों को झुमके के बोझ तले दबाने से पहले, कमर को 2 इंच छोटे कपड़े में कसने से पहले, उसी कपड़े को अपनी छाती में धंसने से पहले, इन होठों को लाल गुलाबी सुर्खी में बंद करने से पहले उन्हें कहने दो कि तुम खूबसूरत हो. The whole idea is to tell yourself, and anybody who tells you that, so I try that in my life, that if anybody who tells me that I hate you, I tell them, okay, no problem, I still don't. I don't hate you just because you hate me. So I wrote 2 lines about this also कि गिला नहीं गर पीठ में खंजर लगे लाखों मेरे, गिला नहीं गर पीठ में खंजर लगे लाखों मेरे, इस खौफ से मैं अपनी मोहब्बत का सौदा नहीं करूंगी.
That's
That
so
if you
beautiful.
hurt me, I will try my best to not hurt you back. I will not try my best, I will not hurt you back, and I'll try to not get hurt by you.
Thank you for watching the clips. Watch the full video from the link in the description box. If you like our videos and content, make the comment section your friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. We will meet you in our next episode. Till then, master your inner world with The Journey Within by Shobha Rana.